Hey, baddies. Welcome back to the podcast. How you guys doing? Good morning to me as I'm recording this. Um, Welcome back to the podcast. This is the Jool Effect podcast, and I am your host, Julian Badlands. And we're coming back 2 weeks later. That's right. We did not have a podcast last Friday, which I warned you guys about on my social media, specifically my Twitter. Which, if you're not following me on Twitter, follow me on Twitter at Julian Badlands. But hello, welcome back to the podcast. If you are wondering, what is this? What is this thing? What is the Jewel Effect Podcast? This is a lovely, lovely, lovely safe space in which we talk about a nice cacophony. I don't know if I'm using that word correctly, but variety of topics. We go into pop culture. We talk about movies, video games. We did a book review. We've done some Ramblecast. I talked about a TV show last week, or 2 weeks ago, rather. We do a lot over here. And this podcast is kind of whatever I want to do. In a way, I like doing this, so this is fun for me. Give me one sec. I gotta turn my gain up, and I'm back. Okay, yeah, but this podcast, it is a lovely, lovely safe space in which we do whatever the fuck I want. And this week, I did not warn you guys about what I was gonna do because I don't have anything super duper duper strenuous planned. I'm actually planning on calling this the Chillcast because that's what we're gonna do. I'm trying to take it easy this week, which transitions into my first topic. If you guys were not wary or aware, I know we'll get into that later. Give me one second. I have to finish this point first. If you guys weren't aware or wary of what happened last week, I had a health emergency, a health scare. I am epileptic, and I had my first seizure in almost 5 years. Yes, last week. So it was gonna be no podcast, no videos or anything last week as I was recovering from that. So this week I'm back in Adam, back on my meds, back in my room, recording into my microphone to make this podcast for you. And usually I prepare something for the podcast. Like if I'm doing an album review, I will tell you what album I'm reviewing. If I'm doing a movie review, I'll tell you what movie I'm reviewing. If I am talking about a specific topic, a book, something, I'm gonna tell you. When I don't tell you, this means I'm kind of going off the cuff, and that's the point of this podcast. This podcast is gonna be nice and chill, even for me. You're gonna get to hear the sounds of my sweet ultra morning voice because I just woke up. And this is how my voice sounds in the morning, and you can kind of tell because my throat's kind of gunky, so I have to keep clearing my throat as I'm speaking. But yes, this podcast is going to be super duper duper chill. I have a couple topics that we're going to hit and we're going to talk about that happened to me this week that I've kind of compiled over the past 2 weeks, and we're gonna go into those, and we're not gonna have anything too crazy going on this week. So which this does transition into my next topic. Yo, yo, I just I just want to talk about the fact. Well, uploaded my first audio. Was it 2 weeks ago? Okay, we did Your English Crush part 1 2 weeks ago, right? We were at, I think, 20, 30 subscribers, something like that. Uploaded 2 more audios afterward, and now I think we are 10 subscribers shy of 300. Like, y'all. So this is why I'm going to say hi. If you're new here, because I know I'm going to have some new people here. If you're new here, this is the podcast, and this will be a good podcast for you to listen to if you enjoy the sweet sounds of my voice. If you enjoy, I'm so sorry, it's so gross. If you enjoy the sweet sounds of my voice, if you enjoy my personality that you can at least find some remnants of in my audios and whatnot, this will be a good podcast for you to listen to. This is going to be a nice chill one. I'm usually like manic during these podcasts. I usually have a lot of energy. I'm actually quite tired. I've had a really, really, really long, strenuous, and hard week. Physically and just mentally, I've just been like, and it's not about like writing and scripting and doing my audios. It's just my life right now we're heading into a difficult lull, personally. Not gonna get too much into my business and stuff like that, but we're not heading, we are reaching the comfortable point in realizing that I'm in a difficult lull in my life at this moment. So I'm not going to be as high energy, as in your face, as like, oh, jump up and down and crazy stuff this week, just because it's a chill cast and I'm in a very chill, sleepy mood. And I'm just going to keep going and talking, and we're going to get through the topics that we have to talk to today. But to go back to my original point, hello. Almost 300 baddies in the JBA nation. That is incredible. That is crazy. My last 3 tweets, because I hit 169 subscribers, and then I hit 200, and then I hit 250 that next morning, 12 hours later. Like, the growth has been insane, guys. In freaking insane. And excuse me, because I've been very like stressed out this week. I don't know why my mind produces like my best ideas when I'm like fraying at the ends, kind of, when I'm like like eye twitching and shit. But I have 4 audios lined up. I have thumbnails made for 3 of them. 3 of them. 3 if not 4. Actually, I can't check it. Something's going on with my laptop and I don't know. We're not gonna. I have no clue. I don't know, but I could check. I could have checked it, but the website I used to make my thumbnails, something happened to it. It's like, I don't know what happened to it last night, so I had to move to a new website, and it's a lot of work that I have to do, but basically nothing has happened. Nothing has gone right in my week this week. Like, I'm having a bad week, and I'm just trying to be okay. Really, I'm trying to be okay. And a lot of my folks, my friends, keep telling me, you need to relax, Julian. You need to relax. You need to relax. You had a hard weekend. You need to relax. And I'm like, I literally, I don't have time for that. Like, I have something to do today. I have something to do tomorrow. Sunday's probably going to be a rest day, but I probably have something to do after that. So, like, I'm really, 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 really busy right now. But when I get busy, I get creative. And so I have 4 new audios lined up. Very, very, very excited about that. Technically 5, because I have part 2s to do, but 4 new like original sets of like audios lined up of original stories and stuff that I'm really excited to get working on and fixing those up for you guys and serving on a platter and get you guys going with that. I'm really excited about it. But my last audio I posted was my sleep aid, and I had somebody comment, why did you rickroll us? I'm like, no, I'm sorry. I don't know. That's just how the game went, I suppose. But yes. So almost 300 baddies in the nation. Hi guys. If podcasts aren't your thing, obviously skip over this video. If podcasts are your thing, if you just like me and you like my content, well, you're gonna like the podcast, because I upload it pretty much every single Friday, which somebody's fucking truck in my goddamn parking lot. Yesterday was St. Patrick's Day, and people were just drunk everywhere. Like, oh my god. But yes, what was I saying? I forgot. Fuck. I was talking about St. Patrick's Day. If you're new here and you just like my content, I have like no clue. I'm really sorry. This is also gonna be a bad podcast for not organization, but just organization of my thoughts and like my brain and my mind, because I've had a lot of memory, reading, writing, and motor skills issues ever since my seizure. Like it's been rough. So if I go on a tangent and I can't redirect myself, I'm really sorry because it just happened. And I'm probably gonna listen to this back and be like, "Hey, you were talking about so and so, bitch." So okay. If you're wondering, there was a cut there. I just paused my recording and went back and listened to it because what I had to tell you was important. That what I forgot to do. So, this podcast, like I said, is uploaded every single Friday. So if you're looking for content every single Friday, this is the place. But the week of the 31st of this month, so the 31st is on a Thursday. That April 1st on Friday, so April Fool's Day. No podcast that week. No podcast that week, and probably no audios going into the weekend. Leading into that, just because I know I am gonna have something to do, and there's kind of no way to get around it. So, no podcast on April 1st this week. They'll have a podcast next week, next Friday, but no podcast that week afterward. And probably no audios unless I pre-record and then just upload later, but which I might do. But yes, so just be wary of that. Be wary of such things. The boy who lived has come to die. Okay. That's what I had to do. Okay. So I'll be let me go cut again. I'll be right back. Alrighty, so I am backing up and Adam back again. And this podcast, like I said, it's just gonna be very, very, very chilled out. Alrighty, I have a couple topics to talk about. This podcast will probably not be as long as they usually are. We might not even get to an hour just because I stand up to do these and I don't want to stand for like an hour and 30 minutes. Somebody is revving their engine in my parking lot and I really, really, really apologize. I try to record in the morning because I have things to do in the afternoon, usually on Fridays. And in the morning is when every single big dick, big truck man in my parking lot with his lovely Ram or Ford or Chevy or what the fuck, GMC. Okay. They all just love to just be like, I have places to be. And I'm like, but I'm recording my podcast. I also live near a military base and planes and stuff are always like, hi. And I'm like, hey. So it's loud and I'm sorry. And I do my best to get my audios to be quiet, focus solely on the sound of my voice. But sometimes things leak through, so I apologize. But nobody's really so sorry complained about that before. So I actually described my voice to my friend. I was joking. It was a joke. It was satirical. But I subscribed my voice. I was like, I can't help that my voice is liquid chocolate cascading over a mountainside peak of happiness and tranquility. So if you're just wondering where I'm at mentally, but I have a couple topics to talk about this week on the podcast, and yeah, that's what we're gonna do next. So, wow, really revving, really. I don't know. I don't keeps stopping and starting. Like, is he like trying to like jump his car or something? Like, I have no clue. Like, I have no clue what's going on. Like I said, it was St. Patrick's Day yesterday. Like, it was wild and crazy. I could hear the bars from my apartment. Like one of them, like the bass to the song, because they play like that fucking white people fucking EDM music and shit. So I could fucking hear like the like the shit from my apartment, and I was like, thank you, thank you, thank you so much for that. I love it. I love it when you play your EDM music so loud. Like I love it. So. I'm so tired. But back into this podcast. Back to the Chillcast. Okay. We're going to chill. And my first topic on my list is oh. Oh yeah. I saw the Batman. I saw the Batman 2 weeks ago. Wow. Oh, spoilers. If you haven't seen it and you're listening right now and you want to, and you're if you haven't seen it and you're listening and you're planning to see it, even if you think you'll go see it, even if you like want to go see it, maybe click off because I might say something about the plot. And I don't want you in my comments being like, Julian, I was gonna go fucking see the Batman. I was gonna go fucking see, oh my God, fuck you, you stupid bald bitch. Like, I was gonna go fuck, like, I'm sorry, okay? So this is your warning. If you're going to see it, click off. If you're planning on seeing it, maybe click off. If you think you might want to see it and you don't care about spoilers, if you don't care about spoilers, okay, I might not even say one, but just in general, I gotta protect myself. So, so literally my first note on my fucking Google Doc is Zoe Kravitz, I'm single whenever you're single. I'm so gay. I hate myself. Okay. So my thoughts on the Batman. I've had 2 weeks to let it marinate, and I think I'm gonna go see it next weekend again. But okay, so the Batman, the Batman, the Batman. This was a movie that I felt encompassed the best parts of Batman movies, Batman comics, and Batman video games, because we really, really, really get to see Detective Batman in this movie. I'm not going to tell you how and why, but that is an element of his character. And it's really not a spoiler because they talked about it in the promos, like Detective Batman. But we really get to see it highlighted in Robert Pattinson's performance as Batman. And in the entirety of the plot, with the Riddler being the villain, we get to see him figure things out, which is amazing because canonically in the comics, he's a genius. He's supposed to be this really, really high level intelligence individual that can solve these crazy ass puzzles and things. And that's really, 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 really well orchestrated in the video games because you have detective mode, because you can walk around and you can look, oh, there's a set of footprints on the ground, or there's blood and stuff. And obviously the video game gives you the plots to kind of softball things to you so you can put together the problems and solve your quest that you're supposed to solve in the game and whatnot. But we get to see that in the movie. We get to see him get things wrong in the movie. We get to see him figure things out, take one piece of the plot, put it to the next piece, put it to the next piece, put it to the next piece, so on and so forth. And until everything strings together, so everything strings together. And in the last Batman film series, obviously the Christopher Nolan series, we don't get to see the Riddler as one of the main villains, which I would have liked to see. I would have. But I know if we had, Nolan would have done it well. He would have done it well. But we didn't. And not to say Christian Bale didn't make Batman seem dumb, because he didn't. But we just didn't get to see that part of him highlighted. I feel like the Christopher Nolan series is all about Batman's specific type of heroism, because the entire part of that film trilogy was the fact that Christian Bale, Bruce, was willing to be the villain so that he could be the hero, so that another person could be the hero. He was willing to take that fall at the end of The Dark Knight, make it seem like he killed Harvey Dent, so that people would not know that the Joker had broken Harvey Dent. And that movie series is all about his own brand of heroism, his selflessness, not really about his intellect. Like I said, they don't make him seem dumb. I don't think this man is stupid, but they took the implementation of Lucius Fox, in as a character in the film trilogy, and he is somebody that helps out with the uh gizmos and gadgets and the hullabaloo of his gear and his arsenal that he uses. And so you can kind of see that Lucius kind of is a sort of the brains. Not to say Bruce is dumb, but in those movies they just don't really, in my opinion, highlight his sheer intelligence. To me, you may disagree with me. You may think, oh, I think they did a really good job with that. And my interpretation of it, I think it was okay. And I'm not saying it was bad, because like some of the old Batmans, I'm like, y'all just bitches in tights fucking running around and shit. Obviously they had some technological disadvantages back in the day, but in general, from Batman Begins to The Dark Knight Rises, I just think Detective Batman kind of takes a back seat. And I think he takes a back seat in almost every single interpretation of Batman until you start looking at the video games. Until you start looking at Arkham Asylum and Arkham City and Arkham Origins and Arkham Knight and everything that they put together for those video games that make you feel like you're really solving shit, especially with the collectibles and the sheer amount of detective work that you really have to do. Like, oh god, what game is that? I think it's Arkham City, where you have to you face off against Deadshot, I think, and you figure out like the trigonometry about where he was like shooting his sniper to kill people. Like, that's in the games, and they put so much details and making you feel like Batman and making you have the intelligence and the tools and using these incredible tools for your detective work. You really see it in those video games. And I think watching this movie, The Batman, with Robert Pattinson, it made me so very happy to see that detective work shine through. Another thing about this film. Was it, what is it? Is it Matt Reeves? Yeah. Says he places Batman's age around 2 years after he begins his Batman, like his night rides and shit. And he makes him about 30 years old, which means he started being Batman about 28. He thought of the idea around 28, and now he has a sort of established presence. You know, people are afraid of him. People are scared of him. People are, make sure I'm still recording. People are afraid of him. He has established presence on the street, and he has his Batman persona very built up. It's very clear he's comfortable being in that suit, being Batman, being who he is. My ear was itchy. This isn't like a Batman Begins situation where he's kind of just like, all right, now I'm like, I'm stepping out for the first time. Like, he's obviously new, but this isn't something that he's unfamiliar with. We even dredge on the implication that he's a little. It's a little unhealthy how much he likes to be Batman. But this means that we don't really get to see his Bruce Wayne persona. Because that's something that Christian Bale did in the Christopher Nolan series really well. He's the, I'm a fucking playboy fucking billionaire. I walk into fucking charity events, 5 supermodels on my fucking arm. Actually, I helicopter into my own party, walk into shit, 5 supermodels on my arm. I'm misbehaving. I'm playing in the fucking pool during shit. I'm fucking moving tables together at my restaurant, and like that kind of like just casual asshole behavior, like that thing that he embodied so well, because Christian Bale's a good actor, but he embodied that so well. And that is a presence that we don't get to see with Robert Pattinson, because this movie is a lot about the darkness that he feels. My man's got the eyeliner. It's all about, the eyeshadow. It's all about the darkness of Batman and what it takes to be that kind of individual, and the toll that it takes on your mind and on your body, okay? We don't get to see that. We don't get to see the glitz and glamour of this persona that he puts together. If anything, in this adaptation, Bruce Wayne is at a point where he's kind of not interested in having that extra persona. He's a recluse. He's like, I'm staying in the entire day. Like, I don't want to deal with this. I don't. And so he does. And it's not a persona that I thought. It's not a interpretation of the character that I would see, because Robert Pattinson is giving like Bruce Wayne in The Dark Knight Rises, where he's in his fucking mansion for fucking 8 years and his knees all fucked up and shit, and like he has to fucking build himself back up from the rubble, from everything that happened with the Joker. That kind of recluse. That's what Robert Pattinson gives in this movie, just a younger version. And he has different motivations. These Batmans have different motivations. These Batmans have different reasons for not building up that Bruce Wayne persona, because even in Christopher Nolan's series, this is the main series I'm going to compare it to, even in Christopher Nolan's series, Alfred always warns Bruce, like, you got to be Bruce at the end of the day. You know, you have to be him. Batman is something that's going to come and go. And it's implied in that series that, you know, he has a bit of an unhealthy obsession with being Batman. It's implied. It's kind of fully embraced in the Robert Pattinson, Matt Reeves universe that he puts together. That this man is like really, really, like, he can't wait until it's nighttime so that he can go and put on that fucking suit and go beat people up. Like, he can't wait for it. And I like that. I really like that about the movie. I'm realizing that this entire time I've just been rambling and I didn't look at my notes. So let me see what I said. Oh, yeah. The score was phenomenal in The Batman. Wow. It was really, really good. And the whole thing is on Apple Music. Yeah, Apple Music and Spotify, and I'm pretty sure it's on YouTube as well. There's a scene where they go to the Iceberg Lounge, which is like this is young for everybody. So Falcone's here, okay? Falcone's here. He's got Gotham, and then fucking the Penguin is working under Falcone. So the Penguin hasn't like risen up. He's not like the big mob boss of like you would see him as in like the video games and stuff. You know, he's not that yet. He's still there. And the Iceberg Lounge, the music they were playing some like EDM shit, some shit like that in the movie, and it was good. Some good music in there. His theme, it just has this like haunting like nah. And I'm like, where he coming from? Shit. Like, it's scary. It makes you feel like if you're a criminal and like you hear that shit, like you're gonna go fucking be like, actually, I don't think I'm gonna steal tonight. Like, I'm gonna stay inside. Like, that's what the theme makes you feel. And the music was very, 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 very good in this movie, and that's why I'm kind of excited to see it again so I can listen to the music again. So that's really good. Robert's performance, I kind of touched on it earlier when I was talking about Detective Batman. He was good for what the kind of Batman that they needed him to play. Let's say the next movie that they're going to make, it jumps a couple of years in the future and he needs to build up that Bruce Wayne persona, then I will make another assessment on his performance. Not that I don't think Robert Pattinson can play that like very clean cut asshole kind of persona, even if they choose to go in that direction. But if they do, I would have to kind of see, because that's a new type of Bruce Wayne for him to embody. But the kind of Bruce Wayne they had him embody, a fucking antisocial incel with very bad social skills, and I just want to go fucking sit in my room until it's fucking 8 p.m. so I can go beat people up. He did a great job. He did a great job. excuse me, his American accent was very, very, very good. And I really liked the movie. The Riddler was just an incel. Also, women and bees, and people, men, everybody. If you are simping after the actor that plays the Riddler, I'm looking at you and I'm saying, snap the fuck out of it. Get the fuck up right now. You need to get up. Get up. Get up, because people can see you. Jesus Christ. I have seen edits of this man. I have seen them everywhere. People want this man. I'm like, oh my goodness. I mean, he was great in the film. I thought he was wonderful. Incel, with his incel army. The chicken noises are back. Incel. But we need to do better. We need to do better, and we need to be better, and we need to aspire better. That's what we need to do. You're simping over him when Zoe Kravitz is over here looking the way she does. Hello? we need to do better. We need to do better. Let's go into Zoe Kravitz really fast. I'm gonna check what time I'm at. I'm at 30 minutes. Wonderful. Okay. Zoe. Not my favorite Catwoman. Not my favorite. Michelle Pfeiffer, still. She's got that one. She's got that one locked, secured. She was good, though. She was very good. I might say I liked her better than Anne Hathaway. I think I like Anne Hathaway so much because I wasn't expecting her to be Catwoman, and I wasn't expecting to like it so much. And I think that's why she kind of has a near and dear hold on my heart, because she's like, actually, like every time I think back on The Dark Knight Rises, I'm like, yeah, Tom Hardy was good, and fucking Christian Bale was good, and Michael Caine and everybody, and fucking Morgan Freeman. But I'm like, Anne Hathaway held her own in that movie. She did. But you can tell that's an older, like how that's an older Bruce Wayne. That's an older Catwoman. That's an older thief. That's an older woman who, by the end of it, we can see tired of the life that she's lived. She's kind of tired of running, tired of having to get new covers and passports and everything, and stealing in the life that she lived. Tired of it. And you can tell in that film. And that's why by the end of it, we see at the end Bruce is with Catwoman because they get together, but he was able to convince her to come back to fight at the end of the film. In this movie, oh God, that's a big spoiler. Okay, huge spoiler alert. Huge spoiler alert coming up. This is your warning. If you listen to all my shit about Detective Batman and everything, and you're fine, and you're okay with that, that's fine. But this is a huge spoiler coming up right here. If you don't want to hear a spoiler about the movie, click off this video right now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'm assuming since you're still here, then we're okay. Okay, this is a spoiler about the movie. Catwoman leaves at the end of the movie. So she leaves Gotham at the end. Because all the shit that occurred in the movie, she was like, it's too much for me. I'm leaving. And it's interesting because that right there, you can tell that's a younger Catwoman. You can tell that's a woman who's she's not tired of running yet. Running is her way to stay alive. It's her way to survive. She's okay. She's like, okay, I can go to another city and just steal there. Like, it's fine. And you can tell that Bruce is also younger because he can't see through that bullshit. He probably can, but he doesn't have the confidence to say something about it. Because Christian Bale and Anne Hathaway's relationship, it was a very I see through you and you see through me. And we call each other out on our bullshit. Because she clocked him as Batman from day one, from the jump. And and Catwoman doesn't know who Batman is in this film, in the Matt Reeves film. Zoe Kravitz doesn't know that Robert Pattinson is Batman in the movie. So they don't have that kind of, we see each other on our bullshit and we work together, that kind of thing. Like, they don't have that yet. So you can tell it's a younger Catwoman because she's like, all right, I'm going to go fucking run. And you can tell, it's a younger and less developed Batman because he wasn't like, stay here with me. Because obviously the romance is it's a forefront of the movie. It's part of the movie. It's a part of the movie. We've seen the promos that Robert Pattinson and Zoe Kravitz have been doing for this fucking film. Porn. We've seen it. Okay, we've seen it. All right, you know there's a romance aspect, but they're not developed characters. They're not the developed versions of themselves where he can ask her, stay with me here. Stay with me and fight crime with me and do the things you want with me. He's not going to ask her that. And he doesn't. He doesn't ask her that in the movie because he's not sure of himself. He's not sure of himself, and he probably can see things about her, but he doesn't have the confidence to say it. He doesn't have that. So she is a very younger version of Catwoman. She's one of my favorite adaptations of Catwoman. I'd probably place her, if she's not above Anne Hathaway, then she's right below Anne Hathaway for me. And Anne Hathaway is actually, she might be third on my list. She might be third. Possibly. Yeah. But yeah, that was the Batman. I thought it was great. It's not my favorite. Every day I think about it though, it's like growing on me and I'm like liking it more. It is very long. Almost 3 hours. But you know what? It is paced very beautifully. Very, very, very nicely with poise, precision. Things make sense about the movie. And the pacing makes sense for what the movie is. And I like that because I hate not well-paced movies. I'm looking at you, Avengers Endgame. That movie was hell on earth for me to fucking try to get through. Legitimately difficult for me to have to get through. Because it was so boring. Until like the last 50 minutes. That shit is boring as hell. Boring as fuck. 3-hour fucking movie. People saw that shit multiple times in theaters. And that movie is boring. It's not that good. Anyway, not before I get into a rant about Endgame. But 2 hours, 47 minutes, I'm pretty sure, paced very well from beginning to end. They keep you involved. They keep putting down breadcrumbs that you keep picking them up and you keep staying involved with the plot. You know, they don't give you too much, but they give you just enough to keep following it from beginning to end. And things make sense. The plot flows all into one another. Things make sense. Things are revealed at the right time. Storylines are expanded at the right time. We get introductions into new characters at the right time. So that's my view on the Batman. Rewatchability, I think it has rewatchability because I'm gonna go rewatch it. So my overall thoughts are that I enjoyed the movie. Rewatchability, definitely. And the future as Robert as Batman, very bright. I'm very excited to see it. I'm excited for what they're gonna do. I'm excited for what the DC universe is gonna do. DCU expanding. I'm excited. I'm excited for new films with him. I don't know. I have no clue what the future is going to be because we might need a new Wonder Woman soon because gal, clock's ticking. But I'm very happy about it. Very, 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 very happy about the movie. Okay. Next point I have on the Chillcast. I had a Twitter thread that I tweeted. Let me check the receipts so that I don't have the wrong date. Alrighty. This was 3 nights ago on March 15th. I tweeted at JBadlands, if you're not following me. I tweeted, sometimes auditioning for project after project makes you very dejected about your chances, especially when a role you think you could do extremely well in is looking for a white voice actor for their white audience. Like, I'm still going to throw my hat in there, but I took a little gander at the YouTube channel. Not a damn thing for black and brown folks with similar sounding voices for the narration. Like, where's the love for black girls who've got deeper registers in their voice and don't sound like high school theater incarnate? Seriously though, makes a gal like me sad because these projects have no clue that they're driving away entire demographics of serious talent, unless they are aware. But that's an entire other conversation. So this is just a very main point. Shit's racist. Shit's racist in the world, and shit's racist in the voice actor world. I have my casting call club account thing, and you know, sometimes you see that a lot of VAs are white, and you see that projects may only be casting white characters or people who sound remotely different are dismissed. I've been dismissed from projects because I don't have a typical sounding voice. I know I have a deeper register in my voice, mid to low tone, and sometimes the game trying to play of finding things to audition for gets a little frustrating. And I just had a particular instance of it where this is a very well-known YouTube channel. I'm not going to give any hints as to what the channel is or anything because we don't need to put them on blast, all right? But they make videos where they need voiceover narration for them. And I mean, almost every single person who auditioned for the role was white and had a very typical white sounding voice. And I took a because you can link things on Casting Call Club to your previous project so people can see like, oh, this is the kind of work that they make, you know. And I just took a little gander at their channel. First of all, it's a high subscriber channel. I'm talking over 1 million subscribers. And I was like, wow, this is like a great opportunity for me. I'm excited. Like, you know, I'm going to try to knock my audition out of the park for this project. You know, I get excited about it. I start looking at their thumbnails and it's like white person, white person, white person, white person, for white people, for white people, for white people, for white people. I don't want to tell you the demographics of the channel, but they make, I'm going to say teen content. They make teen content for teenagers, okay? I'm not going to tell you the style of video that they make because, again, they're a very, very popular channel, but they make content for teens, okay? And, again, just, they have this, their background for their channel. You know, it says their channel name, and then it has their background with all like people for like people who are in their channel represented like teenagers, you know. No lie, not a black or brown person there. And I was like, hello? Hello? Not one? We don't even get one for diversity, quote unquote. Like not one. I was looking through their videos and it's white people, white people, white people, white people. And then there's one video that's like someone's experience as a brown person. And here is a distinguishing point. If you're white, hello, and you're listening to this right now and you're white, hello. This is a point that you can see if somebody is unaware of their privilege, their culture, and how they don't know that they're alienating people. If a brown or black person is in a video like that for teens and their experience is about being brown or black, that's a red flag. We can tell stories about people just using different races. Because there isn't a video I've seen on their channel portraying a brown or black person simply having the experiences of a white person just in a different race. It's always about being brown or being black and that experience. And that's important, obviously. Obviously telling the Black or brown experience, talking about the diaspora of that is very important. But it's also important to just normalize other races having similar experiences. That's why we have black alternative people, black emo people, black goth people, and they get alienated by black communities because people think it's a white thing. Like, no, some people just have similar interests. And channels like this are part of the problem. They are a part of the problem. And that's simply in the type of videos that they make. Let's get into the narration. I've seen like maybe like 6 or 7 of their videos, and each one is just white sounding voice. Like, I mean, it's the same thing. Like I said, I'm still gonna audition. I don't think I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I'm gonna get it. I feel like they're gonna hear one sound of my deeper register voice, and they're gonna be like, I'm still gonna audition because you never know. Miracles do occur. Miracles can happen, but I just don't know if it's in the cards for me when it comes to that project, and that's okay. I'm not meant to get everything. I got rejected from like I think 3 projects this week, so like I'm not meant to get everything, but knowing that going in you have a disadvantage kind of fucking sucks, especially when you're just a VA who wants to do the same things as other people, and you already have a disadvantage against you because of something you can't change about yourself, or because of how you sound. Sometimes people are like, you're not what I'm looking for. Are you looking for a white person? Like, are you looking for a white person? Are you? Because you can just say that, because sometimes some characters don't have racial requirements, because that's what I appreciate about CCC is some directors of projects will be like, I'm looking for specifically black people for this role, specifically black people. Okay, that's fair. Or I'm looking for specifically Native American people for this role. Fair. Completely fair. And I like that, because then there's something for me. Because if it offends you that there's people that there's projects specifically for black people and you're white and you're like, damn, why isn't there projects specifically for white people? There are. It's every single other project. I mean, let's be conscientious of our privilege. Let's be because people get scared of that word, privilege. And if you're scared of it, you have privilege and you don't want to acknowledge it. And that's the main point. White VAs in this industry, in this world, already have a privilege because of their skin color and because of what they sound like. Because we have been conditioned to think that a white voice is pleasing, quote unquote, pleasing. It's a nice voice. It's a pretty voice. It's a beautiful voice. And it's of a white person. But if somebody sounds like me, if somebody has a different sounding voice, or because I have a deep voice, but I don't know if I have a distinguishable black sounding voice. If somebody has a different sounding voice that doesn't sound like that white voice, it sounds like the voice of a person of color. It's different. It's a different topic. It's a different conversation. It's completely different. Because then we get to talk about, they sound aggressive. They sound mean. It could be an audio where somebody's teasing. Oh, they sound mean. Like, that's not the point. Why aren't we using those same appraisals? Because white people. But yeah, that honestly, I had one more topic. Normani's coming back. I'm very excited. Very, very, very excited. Okay. She's coming back, and that's really all I have for the podcast this week. I'm gonna be honest with you. I talked about Batman, talked about the VA stuff. I talked about YouTube, talked about my problems a little bit. But yeah, that's honestly, that's all I have for this week. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of your fucking hair. Once again, to warn you one more time, if you've made it this far, no podcast the week of the 31st, the 1st of April. Like I said, stipulated. No podcast that week. Podcast is next week. But no podcast on the 1st. But yeah, have a great day, guys. Enjoy your day. I'm gonna be literally busy and crying. I'm so excited. Oh my god, I'm so excited, guys. But alrighty, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of your hair. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have an amazing day and take care.